Giving me November 9th vibes, but without the burning her house down thing. So my friend Cameron read this already. She said that it like broke her, so I'm excited. Jax is the love of my life. I love him. Hey, what's up? I'm Ange. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi again. I am Ange. I love to read, and now I make YouTube videos about it. Today, we are going to be talking about all of the books that I read in May and all of the books that I plan to read in June. Starting off with all of the books that I read in May. So, I feel like I didn't read too many books in May. Kind of upset about it. I started off the month strong with my swapping my screen time for reading. What?
I just fell down the stairs.
Nice.
Ah! You just put that in the video,
Sure. Starting off, I read The Right Move by Liz Tomford. I rated this one 4 stars. It is the second book in the Windy City series. This one follows Ryan and Indy. Ryan plays for the Devils basketball team in Chicago, and Indy is the flight attendant for the hockey team, same as Stevie was. As you remember, she is Stevie's best friend from the book before. So Indy breaks up with her boyfriend. She finds her boyfriend cheating on her, and she needs some place to live. She doesn't have a lot of money. She's trying to save up money for something that you will read in the book. Don't want to spoil anything too much. And Stevie sets her up to move into her bedroom at Ryan's apartment so that she could save some money. She's living in his apartment in Stevie's old bedroom. He's very like put together, this is the way it's gonna be, and she's very like, whoa, colored plants, I love everything, and he's like, whoa, you're a little much. Ryan is now the captain of the team, and the general manager just does not think that he's the guy for the job, and he's like, oh, if you look at your teammate who was the captain, like he had a family, a wife, like they hosted the team dinners at their house, like it was just a much better vibe is basically what the general manager is saying, and he doesn't agree with Ryan being the captain. So one day they're talking and Ryan's like, yeah, I have a girlfriend now, and then Indy's standing there and she's like, what? Okay, I'm your girlfriend now, I guess. It ends up being a fake dating, and it works out in his case and her case where he's now going to be a date to a wedding that her ex-cheating boyfriend is going to be at. So all around, I rated this one 4.5 stars. I don't remember. I'm just going based off of what I have on Goodreads. But I really did like this one. I like this better than the first one. This one felt more real and less Wattpad-like. So this one was really good. The book that I read in May was The Stranded by Sarah Daniels. If you watch my swapping my screen time for reading video, I read this one there. I don't know if maybe that's why I'm only rating it like 2.5 to 3 stars. I didn't rate it on Goodreads for some reason, which I normally do, so I'd be able to tell you, but I don't know what I rated in that video, but this one was about 2.5 to 3 stars. I just was not feeling it. I don't know if I was just like not feeling it because I was swapping my screen time for reading and I was like being forced to push through it because this was one of the books that I picked up during that time. You know when you read a book that you're just not that into and you're like, I can't remember anything from it. Honestly, I feel like I read this book 18 years ago because I can't remember a lot of it. It follows Esther. She's 16. She's a little citizen. They're all in the Arcadia for like 40 plus years because they were just put there when I think it was this outbreak that happened, and for quarantine reasons, just to keep them all on there. She's working really hard to become a medic so that she can go live life on land and get off this boat when she meets Nick, and he's a rebel and he wants to liberate the Arcadia. I know there's a second one. I don't think that I'll pick it up, but it was okay. It wasn't my favorite. I didn't love it. I like blanked out a lot. I just could not get into it that much. Another book that I read was Hot House Flower by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This is Daisy and Reich's book. Obviously, everyone who knows the Addicted Calorie Sister series. If you don't know the Addicted Calorie Sister series, you are living under a rock and you need to pick it up immediately because I love these characters. They are incredible. I love them so much. This one is, obviously, Reich is 25. They cross over some of the other books, so I don't remember exactly when this one crosses over. Does this one cross over on any of them? It does, with Thrive, which I also read this month. Yeah, this is when, Daisy is finally 18, and she wants to say goodbye to her overbearing mother, and she wants to go continue her modeling career, and she's going to Paris Fashion Week by herself. But obviously, as you know, she's having some problems because of something that happened in Kiss the Sky with the reality show and everything. So if you're reading it, you know what I'm talking about. So her going off by herself like this while Reich goes and climbs mountains and does his thing is a really, really big step for her. So something happens while she's there and Reich ends up like coming to save her. This is when their romance like really starts to blossom. When everything spirals out of control, she turns to Reich to keep her secrets, and as Daisy struggles to make sense of this new world and her freedom, she pushes the limits and fearlessly rides the edge. Reich knows there's deep hurt beneath every impulsive action. I really liked reading about them. It definitely wasn't my favorite. I rated this one 4.5 stars. Not the biggest fan of the age gap. I say that every single time I talk about these videos, but I do like them. I think it goes Rose and Connor, Daisy and Reich, and then Lily and Lo. I'm just not a Lily and Lo fan, and of course they have the most books. Like, I like them, but I like the other two couples more, especially Rose and Connor. Again, I say this every single video, but Rose and Connor, I love them so much. I really do like them. I knew that how Lo was going to react to them. I'm pretty sure I see this in this book. They're all starting to mesh together. Like, I can't differentiate each book, especially in a series, unless I read them so far apart. But I'm just going through all of these books that I'm just not, I don't remember exactly what happened here. I just know it was the fashion week, the thing that happens, and how everyone is reacting to them. But I really did like this book. Continuing on with the Tick to Calorie Sister series, I read Thrive by Kristen and Becca Ritchie this month. This one is another Lily and Lo book. It's 2 year span, so I think it starts right before Kiss the Sky. Just don't know how many months before. And then it expands through Hot House Flower, and then a little bit after it. I don't know, like, they have a chart on Kristen and Becca Ritchie's website. They have like a chart for the time spans for all of them, and it's like just a timeline, and it tells you which ones they overlap and stuff like that. So I rated this one 4 stars, but it's basically Lily and Lo's perspective on that time period. Now, being able to see things from their side when I was reading it through Daisy and Reich or Rose and Connor, was very cool to see it from them. But I did just feel, because I read these, I think I read these back to back, I just felt like I was reading the same thing over again, just from people's perspective that I wasn't the biggest fan of. But I like that they're growing and they're figuring things out together. I really felt bad for Lily more towards the end when he found out something and he just did not react the way that she wanted him to react or wished that he could have reacted. But we knew that this was coming. We knew how he felt about this particular topic. And then he didn't know that she was this thing. And now it's like spiraling out of control. And I felt really bad. And I really love these books though. Like, I'm going to read more, obviously, as you're going to see in my June TBR. I'm going to continue reading it. And unfortunately, I'm almost done with it. I've just like 4 more books or so to go, so I should be done with it this summer. And finally, I read The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber. I actually finished this one last night. This is the second book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, and this one continues with Jackson Evangeline. I don't want to give away too much, but what he wanted to do, like his whole plan and how it got derailed when something else happened to help a particular somebody, made my heart like explode. I was so happy. Jax is the love of my life. I love him. I rated this one 4.5 stars. I really love this one. I was shocked by the ending. So when it says at the end, just so you know, if you close the book, it's not actually even done. But this one was incredible. I'm so happy that I got to it this month. I am excited for the third one. I can't believe that I have to wait until October for it to come out, but I guess it is what it is. But I'm so excited for it. I can't wait. If the camera is in a completely different angle, I apologize. Of course, my battery died. This is why I bought 2 batteries, because I feel like this is always happening to me. But yeah, let's move on to the second portion of this video, which is looking at my June TBR. Now, here's the pile here. These are all the books that I want to read in June. I want to read Travis by Mia Sheridan. As you can see, I started this one. Sometimes you have to lose it all to find exactly what you need. Perhaps Travis Hale's past is riddled with regrets, but his future looks limitless. He's a police chief in idyllic Pelion, Maine. Women are regularly falling at his feet, and his family has mostly forgiven his mistakes. But when the new guy in town crosses him, things start to look shaky, especially when he meets the stranger's smoothie-making, birdseed-eating sister. Haven Torres's life fell apart, or rather burned to the ground. At the time, it seemed like a solid idea to jump in their car, her brother a most willing co-pilot, and embark on a cross-country adventure for the summer, especially if she can catch the attention of Pelion's most eligible bachelor, Gage Buchanan, before she goes. And after the local police chief tells her of her brother's scandalous... Do you hear the boat? Again, I live on the water, so it's Memorial Day weekend. Everybody and their mother is in Jersey at the shore, driving their boats, and that's a speedboat, so we're gonna ignore it. After the local police chief tells her of her brother's scandalous misdeed, she knows without a doubt that Pelion is just another town where their stay is best short-lived. Still, she and Travis form an unlikely friendship, and at first it seems simple enough. She'll help him make her brother sweat a little, and he'll help her win over Gage. But then Haven starts to see the man beneath the brooding, and Travis starts to see the woman beneath the mess. However, Haven refuses to be tied to Pelion, and Travis has vowed to never be second best ever again. Before they know it, Simple has started to look pretty complicated. So, I feel like, I know it's like kind of weird, but this book is very like small, if that makes sense, like actual like structure small, and the words, as you can see, are very, very close together. This is by Bloom Books. I guess she's switched publishers and is now there, because I noticed in the very beginning it says also by Mia Sheridan, available from Bloom Books, and Archer's voice is not on here, so kind of odd, but I guess she's just not republishing those books, or like whatever's happening. On chapter 5 of this one, I'm liking it so far. Definitely no complaints. I'm just getting into like the very beginning of the book. There's nothing crazy happening, obviously. Already Travis has discovered something that he did not want to be happening, especially because he's looking at Archer and Bree and the life that they've created together, and he's obviously just like a little bit jealous. So you see what's going on with him and his internal struggles and wanting to settle down and find that for himself. But then he discovers something about his precious little girlfriend that he's not too happy to find out. Then he pulls over Haven for all the plants in her backseat. Like, what is this feeling in my chest? Haven Torres from Los Angeles. So, Haven Torres from Los Angeles, I think you're about to put Travis Hale through an absolute loop. Next, I want to read Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune. She is the author of Every Summer After. I think it was last summer or last spring. I'm really bad with remembering things. That Every Summer After came out. I read that as soon as it came out. I loved it. I really like her writing, so this is another one by her. I'm going to be reading this for a reading vlog coming out soon. This is probably my next read right after Travis, but let's read the back. You and me in 1 year, don't let me down. Fern Brookbanks has wasted far too much of her adult life thinking about Will Baxter. She spent just 24 hours in her early 20s with the aggravatingly attractive and idealistic artist, a chance encounter that spiraled into a day-long adventure in the city. The timing was wrong, but their connection was undeniable. They shared every secret, every dream, and made a pact to meet again 1 year later. Fern showed up, Will didn't. Now, first thought, November 9th vibes. Just saying, the 1 year thing. Obviously, theirs continued year after year after year, but this 1 year thing does remind me of that. At 32, Fern's life doesn't look at all how she once imagined it would. Instead of living in the city, Fern's back home, running her mother's lakeside resort, something she vowed she'd never do. The place is in disarray. Her ex-boyfriend is the manager, and Fern doesn't know where to begin. She needs a plan, a lifeline. To her surprise, it comes in the form of Will, who arrives 9 years late, suitcase in tow, and an offer to help on his lips. Will may be the only person who understands what Fern's going through, but how can she possibly trust this expensive suit-wearing mirage who seems nothing like the young man she met all those years ago? Will is hiding something, and Fern's not sure she wants to know what it is. But 10 years ago, Will Baxter rescued Fern. Can she do the same for him? I don't know how I'm going to feel about this one. This one doesn't really, the lakeside resort gives me summer vibes, but I thought that this was going to be a little different. As I've said in a lot of my videos, I go based off of covers. I go based off of TikTok videos. I very rarely read the back and be like, that's what I want to read. If other people recommend it, I will probably read it. So I'm excited for this one, but I don't know. Giving me November 9th vibes, but without the burning her house down thing. So I think I'll like it. I really liked Every Summer After. I liked her writing, so I feel like this one is going to be very interesting for me. I like the cover. It's very, very pretty. Next, I'm going to be reading Ellen Hildebrand's 28 Summers. My friends and I are going to be reading this book over the course of June, and then we're going to get together, film our thoughts, and it's going to be out sometime in July. When Mallory Blessing's son, Link, receives her deathbed instructions to call a number on a slip of paper in her desk drawer, he certainly does not expect Jake McCloud to answer. It's the late spring of 2020, and Jake's wife, Ursula D. Gornasay, is the front runner in the upcoming presidential election. Lincoln's sure there's been a mistake. How do Mallory and Jake know each other? Flashback to the sweet summer of 1993, Mallory has just inherited a beachfront cottage on Nantucket from her aunt, and she agrees to host her brother Cooper's bachelor party. Cooper's college friend Jake McCloud attends. Jake and Mallory form a bond that will persevere through marriage, children, and Ursula's stratospheric political rise until Mallory learns she's dying. Inspired by the classic film Same Time Next Year, which Mallory and Jake watch every summer, 28 Summers explores the agony and romance of a one-weekend-per-year affair and the dramatic ways this relationship complicates and enriches their lives and the lives of the people they love. I think this one's gonna be very interesting. I know that Ellen Hildebrand is definitely the like queen of summer romances like this. I also have another one by her. I'm really excited to read this one and get together and talk with my friends about this. This one looks like a pretty good beach read. So I'll be reading this throughout the course of June. This one definitely isn't going to be one that I just read in one sitting or anything like that. I want to preserve it, really think about this, write down all my notes, and get together with my friends so that we can talk about it. But I think that's going to be good. I try not to read too many reviews on books. I try not to spoil anything for myself. So I don't know a lot about this one. I just know that a lot of people have read it and have liked it. So I'm excited for it. I also want to read Addicted After All by Kristen Becker-Ritchie, just continuing on with the series. This is another one of Lillian Lowe. So it is two addicts, one epic love story. Prepare for the worst. That's what Lillian Lowe tried to do when Jonathan Hale schedules an important meeting. The problem? After being swept into the public eye and battling their addictions, they're not sure what the worst is anymore. In a sea of many changes, including Greg and Daisy living with them, Lily realizes that the best part of her fluctuating hormones might just be the worst. Her drive is out of control. Laura knows that she's insatiable, but he's not giving up on her. She's too much a part of him, and as he carries more and more responsibility, some of the people that he loves doubt his resolve. At the conclusion to their love story, Lily and Lo stand side by side to fight one last time for their happily ever after. Now, if you watched my last TBR and wrap-up video, I did read the same exact one because I was trying to read it in May and I just didn't get to it. So we are going to try and read it in June. I just had so many other things going on that I just didn't get to this one. I just picked up other books first, so this one is going to be read in June. I'm excited for this one. This is the end of Lillian Lowe. I really like how the Addicted Calloway Sister series is going. Again, I love the characters. I'm just excited to continue on with it. I think it'll be good after learning what happened in Thrive and everything that's going on. After that, I'm going to read Fuel the Fire by Kristen Becker-Ritchie. Again, Rose and Connor, my love. I love them so much. They're amazing. This one says, protect your family at all costs. I live by that. True. Amazing. It take the impossible to hurt Connor Cobalt, even for a moment. Protect your family at all costs. At 26, his narcissistic tendencies have made room for the people he loves. Protect your family at all costs. And he loves Rose. But when his love is threatened, when his greatest dreams with her are compromised, what is the cost then? Protect your family at all costs. Love will guide his choices for the first time in his life. Connor, you're becoming a human and not a robot, as Lo says. I'm excited. I love Rose and Connor. That's all I'm gonna leave you with. But this is such a good series. I'm so glad that I picked it up. And finally, what I want to read in June is Happy Place by Emily Henry. I picked this up at Barnes & Noble the other day when I went. Obviously, this book just came out. It's very summer vibes, My friend Cameron read this already. She said that it, like, broke her, so I'm excited. Harry and Wynne have been the perfect couple since they met in college. They go together like salt and pepper, honey and tea, lobster and rolls, except now, for reasons they're still not discussing, they don't. They broke up 5 months ago and still haven't told their best friends, which is how they find themselves sharing a bedroom at the main cottage that has been their friends' group yearly getaway for the last decade. Their annual respite for the world, where for one vibrant, blissful week they leave behind their daily lives, have copious amounts of cheese, wine, and seafood, and soak up the salty coastal air with the people who understand them most. Only this year, Harry and Wynne are lying through their teeth while trying not to notice how desperately they still want each other. Because the cottage is for sale and this is the last week they'll all have together in this place. They can't stand to break their friends' hearts, and so they'll play their parts. Harry will be the driven surgical resident who never starts a fight, and Will be the laid-back charmer who never lets the cracks show. It's a flawless plan, if you look at it from a great distance and through his pair of sunscreen-smeared sunglasses. After years of being in love, how hard can it be to fake it for 1 week in front of those who know you best? I really like this one. I think I'm gonna enjoy it. I'll be honest. Don't love Emily Henry's writing too much. Definitely not my favorite, but Cameron said it was good, so I will give it a shot. I know a lot of people are liking it. It's definitely not the book that I'm going to reach for first. Obviously, again, I am reading Travis first, and then I want to read Meet Me at the Lake, but after that, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get to this one. I'm definitely going to try, but yeah. I'm excited to see the hype about this one, because apparently a lot of people are, like, loving it, so hopefully I see the hype. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Bye!